Hi guys, and welcome to GISTUBE TV, where we thrill you with amazing video all day long. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel and hit the notification bell after you subscribe to this channel. Hi everyone, and welcome to GISTUBE TV, your home for everything entertainment, celebrity, lifestyle, and video streams, guys. Now in this video, let's talk about what is currently happening in the kingdom and the home of Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi III Ikubabayeye, one of the most first-class Obas in Nigeria and easily one of the most respected Oba in the Yoruba kingdom. Now, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi is a polygamous man. His father actually had 200 wives according to reports, so he is nowhere near the kind of polygamy that his father practiced, but he has his fair share of women. However, among these women, some of them, after spending a few years in the palace, just leave the palace. We know very well, very recently, that 3 of these women left the palace in the space of 1 year, right? But then one of them, Queen Anu, has come online to share that she's about to get married just barely a year after she left the palace, that she has introduced a new man to her husband. She took to her Instagram page to share this good news with the world and said she's set to tie the knot again. And I'm here wondering, I want to ask you guys, is this something that is practiced? Because according to what I've heard of the Yoruba tradition, once you've been married to a king, you can't be married to anyone else. In fact, you can't have sexual intercourse with anyone else, which is why I kind of find it very baffling when reports have it going round that some of those women who left the palace due to infidelity. I'm like, who is that man that has the nerve to actually sleep with not just any Oba, but a 53-year-old Oba Lamidi Ikubabayeye himself, to sleep with one of his wives? I'm like, is that how it happens? What about the myths and the legends that we've heard and the tales we've heard that there's a ritual that has to be performed before you can even have sexual intercourse with any other person? Now Queen Anu is saying that she left the palace November of 2020, however, so it's like barely a year after she wants to marry another man. And I'm like, does this mean that the leaving the palace was actually quite amicable, and everything has been done set free so that she can indeed go ahead to live a very enjoyable life for a young woman, because she's still very pretty. She's a pretty young woman herself. Is that what is happening? Also, remember that one other ex-wife of the Oba, Queen Dami, was in the news recently. Actually, when Queen Dami left the palace sometime this year, it was kind of very how do I put it now, very messy, because she laid several allegations against Ikubabayeye himself and said that it wasn't amicable. She didn't get right as a queen when she left the palace. Some of the things she enjoyed that she was supposed to take out of the palace, she couldn't take them out of the palace. She left with her mother and a child, and she was in pain. She was suffering. She did not even have a roof over her head. And a particular blogger then on Instagram, GISTUBE, actually had to solicit for funds, and people raised money. In fact, when Queen Dami now turned back her words and ate her words and apologized to the palace, very recently on social media, Instagram again, GISTUBE was like, guy, you need to return the money we actually contributed for you, because you made it seem like the Oba was very disrespectful, and now you're saying your friends misled you, which is why you went astray, and you're sorry. Are you trying to get back into the palace? Is it like life is it as sweet or as beautiful as you thought it to be now that you've left the palace, and you'd rather be with the Oba than be with mere men, ordinary men? Because you left a powerful person, right, to come join we ordinary average people in the community. Is that what is happening now? But we really don't know that. But what is currently happening is that Alaafin of Oyo's ex-wife introduces new man to her family, and is like, okay, this is interesting, let's see how this go with the marriage. Will they actually go ahead with the marriage, or is he just trying to chase clouds and trying to gain attention, seeing as the palace is currently in the news? Oba Lamidi Adeyemi ascended the throne on the 18th of November 1970. He's 83 years old, like I said, and is Alaafin, the traditional ruler of the Yoruba town of Oyo, and the rightful heir to the throne of its historic empire. Actually, he was born into the Alowolodo royal house as a member of the House of Oromeo. His great-grandfather, his great-great actually, great-great-grandfather was Alaafin Abiodun, and is said to be a direct descendant of Oromiyan, who is the founder of the Oyo Empire. So you understand why he is easily one of the most respected Obas we have. You know, his great-grandfather was Oba Atiba Tobatele, who founded the new Oyo, right? And his paternal grandfather was the person who ruled during the Kiriji War. It was Alaafin Adeyemi the first. His father was Alaafin Adeyemi the second. He is Alaafin Adeyemi the third, if you understand that ascension now. And that is paternal grandfather, like I said, was the last independent ruler of the Oyo Empire before the British colonialism. That is for you to know how far his lineage is. Now, his father was deposed and exiled in 1954 for sympathizing with the National Council of Nigerian Citizens, and he came into conflict with Bode Thomas, who was then deputy leader of the Action Group. And Bode Thomas, according to reports, shouted at him for no, prostrating to greet him and standing up. Then Obadiyemi felt very insulted, and then he told Bode Thomas to go home and bark like a dog. Then Bode Thomas started coughing blood, and he died while walking back home, leaving his entourage. And so they accused Obadiyemi too of poisoning Bode Thomas, and he was then exiled. He lived out his days in Lagos, where his subjects still visited him until he died in the early 1960s, which is afterwards that his father, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi III, that is Oba Lamidi Adeyemi II, ascended the throne. And then in 1970, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi III ascended the throne, and he's been there all these years. Now, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi III, Ikú Abayeye himself, is someone who has tried to stay away from politicking, so he's not very much into politics, but then he still welcomes and is, very open to offering advice to ruling parties then, especially when in 2011 the outgoing Oyo State governor, the former governor of Oyo State, Adebayo Alao-Akala, announced that the Alaafin was no longer the permanent chairman of the Council of Obas and Chiefs in Oyo State. It was like, okay, what is happening with politics in Oyo Kingdom, and with as it concerns the Alaafin of Oyo, but he has tried to remove himself from it. Now, the Oba is married to about 8-9 wives. He has the Queen Mother herself, the first wife. Okay, he actually has 12 junior wives, but 4 of them have left the palace. So he has about 8-9 currently in the palace. I'm not trying to count for His Majesty, out of respect. Now, but he usually goes around with his most senior wife, Queen Abibat Adeyemi. He attends most events with her, or if he has a new wife, that person who follows it. So aside from Queen Abibat Adeyemi, there is Queen Ramat Adebayo Adeyemi, there is Queen Mujidat Adeyemi, there is a Queen Rukayat Adeyemi, there's a Queen Afolasha Adeyemi, there's Ayaba Badirat Ajoke Adeyemi, who has actually left the palace. There is Ayaba Memonat Omowumi Adeyemi, Queen Omobolanle Adeyemi, Queen Moji Adeyemi, Queen Anuluwapo Adeyemi, who is now set to marry another person, and then Queen Damilola Adeyemi, the most recent wife who left the palace sometimes this year, and now tendered apology publicly to the palace, saying that she was under the influence of friends when she left the palace. The king is a lover of boxing, and he said that up till tomorrow he still practices his boxing. He was a boxer actually before he ascended the throne of his fathers. Anyways, guys, that is the end of this video. Queen Anu is set to get married again, and Queen Dami wants to return to the palace. So of course, I'm going to be hearing a lot of things concerning the Alaafin of Oyo's palace in recent times, and I'll be able to give you all the gist as it is hot. Guys, share this video with 1, 2, 3, 4 people. It is very free to do so. Also subscribe. It is even freer and easier to subscribe. But after subscribing, if you don't want to miss uploads from this channel, just turn on the notification bell. That is to receive all alerts from here when we have new videos. So it'll be a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.